Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Invisible Worlds. This is the second episode in our Biology for Everybody series. In this episode, we are going beyond just what DNA is, we are diving into what DNA does. We are going to see how this microscopic code actually builds and runs our body. We'll uncover how cells read the instructions in DNA to make proteins, create RNA, and express genes. These are words we hear all the time, but what do they really mean and why are they so important? By the end of this video, you will not only know the answers to these questions, you will be one step closer to understanding biology like a pro. So get ready, let's dive deeper into the invisible world of DNA. We are starting off with what exactly DNA does with all the genetic information it has. There are two main answers to this. Let's look at them one by one. First, DNA makes proteins. Simply put, DNA holds the instructions for building proteins. When we usually think of proteins, we might imagine food like eggs or lentils, but in biology, proteins are tiny molecular machines built with incredible precision and they keep your body running every second. So, what are proteins made of? Just like DNA is built from four letters A, T, G, and C, proteins are built from 20 different letters, each representing a molecule called an amino acid. These amino acids are linked together like beads on a string to form long chains. The order of these beads and the length of the chain decides what kind of protein it is and what job it will do. In our last video, we saw how the sequence of DNA is important. Now you will see why. The DNA sequence determines the exact order of amino acids in a protein. That's what gives proteins their shape, and that shape decides their function. Here are some famous proteins doing their jobs in our body. Hemoglobin carries oxygen in our blood. Insulin helps metabolize blood sugar. Melanin gives color to our skin, eyes, and hair. And we all know antibodies function in immunity. In short, proteins are the molecular workers that carry out most of our body's functions, from our heartbeat to our hair growth. Now for a cool fact. Only 1 to 2% of our DNA actually contains the instructions for making proteins. The parts of DNA that either code for protein or RNA are what we call genes. The human genome contains 20 to 25,000 protein coding genes. The rest, for a long time, scientists thought the rest was just junk DNA. But now we know that much of it plays crucial roles, like helping organize chromosomes and controlling when and where different proteins are made. So, while only a small portion of DNA makes proteins, the rest helps direct the orchestra, telling the body when to play which part. Now coming to answer number 2. The other product of DNA is RNA. We have seen how DNA gives instructions for building proteins, but that's not all it makes. DNA can also make RNA, a molecule that's kind of like its cousin. Like DNA, RNA is made of 4 letters A, U, C, and G. Did you spot the difference? DNA uses T, but RNA replaces it with U. So A pairs with U, T pairs with A, C pairs with G, and G pairs with C. And while DNA is usually a double-stranded spiral, RNA is just a single strand. But if it is just a single strand, why should it form pairs at all? That answer lies in the way RNA is made and its function. Here is how it works. To make RNA, 2 strands of DNA separate. Then one of the strands is used as a template. The cell matches each DNA letter with its RNA pair to form a new RNA strand. Let's say we take a short piece of DNA, ATAGGC. When it is copied into RNA, the matching strand will be UAUCCG. Now, based on this RNA strand, we can read the exact information stored in the original DNA. There are many types of RNA, but one of the most famous is messenger RNA or mRNA. It carries DNA's instructions out of the nucleus so that proteins can be made. You have probably heard of mRNA vaccines. They deliver a messenger RNA to your body that tells your cells to make a harmless piece of virus which your body uses to train the immune system against the real virus. So, we have seen how DNA makes RNA, but we still have not answered a key question. How does DNA actually build proteins? Let's break it down step by step. DNA is very precious. It holds all the instructions to make you. So it stays locked away inside the nucleus, the command center of the cell. When a cell needs a protein, it does not send out all the DNA. Instead, it makes a copy of just the part it needs. This copy is called messenger RNA or mRNA, and the process of copying DNA into RNA is called transcription. Once the mRNA copy is ready, it leaves the nucleus and travels to a tiny machine in the cell called ribosome. Ribosomes are protein factories and they are shown here in brown. They read the message carried by the mRNA, which is shown here in green, and use it to build a protein one amino acid at a time. Each amino acid is shown here as a colorful sphere. This process is called translation because the cell is translating genetic language into molecular machines. Let's make it even simpler. Think of DNA as a master recipe book which is locked away in a vault. When your cell needs a specific dish, a protein, it doesn't take out the whole book. Instead, it copies the one recipe it needs onto a sheet of paper, which is the mRNA. That sheet goes to the chef, who's the ribosome. The chef reads the recipe and starts cooking, adding amino acids one by one in exactly the right order, just like the recipe says. This keeps the original book safe while still letting our body make all the proteins it needs to survive. And that's how the invisible code of life becomes life. In our next episode, let's do something different and visit a crime scene. Let's see how we can find our criminal based on the DNA we find at the scene. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Until next time, stay curious.